G'day folks, how we going? I'm Benno and this is the trailer. I'm doing some testing here today. I've got my solar panel plugged in. Unfortunately, it's a little bit overcast, but it's not doing a terribly bad job, to be honest. Let's have a look at the amp meter, see if we can see that. Okay, so even on shadow, the panel is putting in around about 1.5 amps. That's in shade in the overcast. The voltmeter there is showing 12 volts there. On the multimeter, it's showing 12.79 volts. So that's holding fairly stable. Yeah, so I'm charging that GoPro, which was dead flat. The GoPro I'm recording on, which is the GoPro 7 Black, that's running the microphone and everything. I'm also running this. Well, what's that pushing? That's pushing 2.5 amps at the moment, varying between 2.5 amps and 1.5 amps. I'll just hook up this compressor now and we shall see how our system handles the load. I'll turn that compressor on. Let's see what happens here. And the multimeter has given us 12.34, and the system bounces back really quite well. Look at that. That's pretty good actually. Well, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's actually doing better than I thought it would. The batteries have come up to 12.61, 12.62, so they're bouncing back pretty quickly from that. I wouldn't run the compressor for more than maybe 5 minutes at the most, but usually only takes about a minute or so to blow a tyre up from dead flat. Voltage is back up to 12.63. 12.63 is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. The one thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the MPPT controller for the solar. That is pushing into the batteries around the 14.5 volts. I'll have to have a look at that and see if I can adjust that. I probably need to adjust that down slightly. Yeah. Another thing I've got to do is a vent, because I've got batteries in there, and once it's closed up, there's the likelihood that it's going to build up hydrogen, which batteries give off hydrogen when they're discharging, when they're being charged and discharging. I've got this little fan. This is out of a computer. So people sort of say to me, "Oh, well, you keep saving all this crap." Well, this is why. So this will be mounted on the inside, and I will mount it round about there. I'm going to mount that little fan. I've sized up my hole. That's perfect size for that fan. Right, so that's where the hole is going to go. So I've gone as high and as far to the back of the cabinet as I can. Keeps the fan out of the way of any of the electrics. You know, when are you going to stop water getting in that? Well, there's plenty of ways of doing that. Actually, I might mount it with the wire there, make it a bit easier. So it'll mount from the inside. Oh, I can't get my arm in there at the moment. But I'll set up all my holes. It'll really only be running when I'm camped and charging and discharging batteries. I'm fucking nuts. The GoPro stuffed up on me yesterday, so I'll just show you what I made. This cover here, fans underneath. Could feel an airflow coming out there. That's good. So I won't get any build-up of hydrogen in there. Try to describe what it is. On the inside, we see these rows of rivets. They have a flute facing down about halfway on both of them, and then attached to the other side there's one from the other side coming in that direction, and that's designed to stop water egress or ingress, whatever it is, water getting in. Anyway, all right, so I may as well mount this properly. It's only just got one screw loosely in there for an idea. Yeah, so I'll just get into that. I'm just going to use Tech screws, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to use Tech screws and one bolt. Checked it before. But that one isn't in my hand, is the right one. It's a nylon too, so it's not going to come undone. Plus there's all this fucking mobs of silicone on it. There's water. Alrighty, drill a hole for that. I'll put this in upside down, I'll just fix that in the edit. Alright, so these are the wires. This is coming from my lamp that's mounted up the top here, up here. Just has to run along there and then come straight into the switch, because my compressor is going to be sitting in that cradle. So I want to have wires up out of the road. That's just a matter of cable tie it. I'll take this shitty bit off and I'll get them to length. Yeah, some people like to do odd lengths, and yeah, it does work. It saves the possibility of shorting, but I'm going to insulate it before it gets power on it, so I don't really worry about that too much. Oh, come on, take the clothes off. Okay, brown is my active coming from the panel, from the power panel, and then we will just twist them together for the moment. There we go. I'll just go and get my soldering iron. It's hot enough. Yes, definitely. Okay. So I just got to heat these wires. This is going to be awkward. I'm laying down. Fuck. Ow. Fuck ya. And when you're holding a soldering iron, don't grab that bit. Oh, nice little burn on my finger. Sitting there all cross-legged. It's like being back in primary school. So you should see that once the wires get hot enough, the solder will flow into the copper. There we go. If you can see how that's flowed into the joint like that, and it's just a matter of doing the same thing again with that. Oh, if it doesn't come apart on you. So I just like to drop a bit of solder in there like that. Just helps the heat transfer. Heat them from underneath, heat rises. There we go, it's starting to go, there we go. On, flow, fucker, flow. If your solder isn't flowing or isn't melting from touching the wire, then your wire's not hot enough and you'll get a cold solder. All that solder's now flowed right into that joint. Just once do some soldering and not burn your fucking fingers. Laying down on the job again. I'm just going to insulate these. I usually like to use Nitto tape, but I can't find it. I have some somewhere. Nitto is the best tape that there is as far as electrical tape goes, in my opinion. If it's not Nitto, it's not. I've got this shit that I got from Bunnings. It was cheap and nasty. And it's not real good. It's not the best. I mean, it's okay. It'll do the job, but it's not as pliable. I take my joints and I'll tape it down like that, so that they can't possibly come together, and then I'll have a reasonably neat sort of joint to have in line. It may not look like much, but there is such a shitload of work gone into this already, and there's still there's not that much left to do. Once I've got this sorted out, I've got to just make this little panel that's going there for the switches, and be honest with you, all then it's left is the doors, and that's just hanging the doors, putting some sheet metal on them. Yeah, so we're getting pretty close. There'll be more things I reckon I'll find to do, but you know, that's the way it goes in the fucking shed. Fingers crossed I've done everything right and we don't have any explodings. Come on, wire. Take your clothes off. This one doesn't like to strip. Oh, and that burn I got there before is right where I like to hold the wires while I'm stripping them, so that hurts even more. But no point whinging about it. So I'm just going to do it like that. There's a fairly big connectors. Give it something to bite down onto. Right, so I'll put my neutral in first, just in case I've fucked up and inadvertently turned this thing on. Is it on? No, it's actually off. Okay, so we're starting to run out of daylight, so I need to get this done now. Brown's my active. This is my neutral. Tuck the wire in there. Oh, I need a small screwdriver. I haven't got one. Oop, wrong hole, as she says to me. Alright, one more connection. Play the game. There we go. We'll stick you under all of them. Just got to make it a little bit longer. It's pretty easy to do. Just put a little cut in the insulation and just give it a tear. Okay, it works. There we go. So this basic little power board here. So flick the power on. That brings power from the batteries to everything except the amp meter. We are running at, what's that, 12.8 volts. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Then, which is not mounted, and I can touch this. It's 12 volts and it's not going to bite you. So turn the switch on. Let's see, can we see them both at the same time? Yes! Yeehaw! So my spotlight there works. Oh shit hot, that's a big day. My brain hurts. My brain hurts real bad. Well guys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed doing it. No, I don't actually mind doing it. It's just a bit pressed for time now. We'll be at 18 or 17 days to go, so there's not a lot left. And I've still got work to do on the car, and I've still got work to do on the bike. The car should take a day and a half with what I've got to do. Hopefully that's all it'll take. And the bike, there's probably a half a day in the bike. I've got to pull the wheels off it, got to change the brakes in the front, brake pads in the front. I've got to change the wheel bearing in the rear wheel because I put the wrong bearing in, and I have no ABS on the rear. I put the wrong bearing in it, so it doesn't work. Works all right to ride, but I do actually like having the ABS. So it was a bit of a fright when the back wheel locked up on me the first time. Like, oh, okay, ABS is not working. But there we go, let's have another look. Woohoo! So we're running it. We've still got decent volts in the batteries. We're just under 13. We're probably 12.8. Let's see, what does it do when the light goes on? Drops minimally. Yeah, a little bit of a drop. But here we go, there's my spotlight. So if I pull up, the reason why I'm putting that in there is if I pull up late at a spot, I've got light to set up my tents and stuff, and maybe do some nighttime spotlighting photography. Who knows? That could be interesting. See what sort of critters are running around at night. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a day. I've had enough. Don't forget, drop us a comment. Let me know if you're in Melbourne, you want to catch up and we'll go a ride. We'll probably might even try to organise a ride with a few bods. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do the Reefton, Marysville, Black Spur into Hurlsville, and then I'm going to head out to Kevington probably for a day or two, stay out the back of the pub at the caravan park there, and move on over to the western side of the state, hit the Otways, Great Ocean Road, lots of great riding roads in the Otways, and some really marvellous spots to see. Yeah, catch up with a couple of mates in central Victoria, then head up towards Mildura. So that's the plan-ish at the moment. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, because I like subscribers. And if you're a new subscriber, introduce yourself. Let me know you're here. And yeah, that's it. I don't think I can think of anything else to say. I've been talking shit all day. Neighbours think I'm fucking crazy. All right, guys, catches.